All right, we're live. Go for it.
Hi, thank you for having me here. Welcome, everyone. It's so great to be at the Book Loft. Such a nice bookstore, it really is nice. And also thank you to Storytellers Campfire for putting everything together. They've really done a tremendous job, and I want to thank them. And it really is a thrill to be here. I've been on this creative journey for about 11 years now. And through all the ups and downs, I have stuck with two main principles. The first being take the stairs. The second, don't give up your daydream. Now take the stairs, where does that come from? That phrase comes from the voice of one of my characters in my third book, Blind Trust. Take the Stairs is about, it's a story about Frank, who's a main character throughout the entire trilogy. Frank is in rehab again. He's sitting on a bench, and he's looking out at the Hudson River. Now, you have to understand Frank, and the Hudson River, just north of New York City in the Hudson Valley. Frank is the kind of guy who's always led like a smaller life than he feels that he should have led. He can never get to a place where he feels that he should be, with his intelligence and his work ethic. He just can't get over the hump. And, all the drinking doesn't help. And he's there because memories of his ex-love, the love of his life, dying in his arms, suddenly, from 10 years ago, suddenly have come back to him, to haunt him. And the memories are just relentless, and he can't let go of them. He can't sleep. So he's taken to drinking again, and he ends up in rehab. Now he's sitting on this bench, looking at the Hudson River, and he's thinking about a dream he had the night before. And in the dream, he was in St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan, and he was walking down, like in a processional, towards the altar. Now he didn't want to go to the altar, so he quickly stepped out and sat on a pew. Now on this bench, the Hudson, he could feel the hard wood of the pew in his back, and he could feel the hard wood from the bench on his seat. So he's in the dream now. And the entire place is completely empty except for two other people, all of St. Patrick's. And he looks over at the two people, and it's his two friends. And he just signals to them, he says, I'm going to go sneak out the side. So he walks out of St. Patrick's Cathedral, and right in front of St. Patrick's is Rockefeller Center, where the big tree is, and the ice skating rink, and where they filmed Jimmy Fallon's Saturday Night Live. It's all there. But when he looks out, it's gone. The place is completely empty. There's no Fifth Avenue, there's no taxis, there's no traffic, nothing. All he sees is this green field, rolling green field. And it looks to him like what an Ivy League campus would look like. And he starts walking down this field, and he's on a gravel path. And you can feel the gravel beneath his feet crunching as he walks. And the air is so fresh and clean, it's almost like a mist landing on him. It's so fresh and clean and wonderful. And suddenly, from the side, he smells this acrid smell, and he knows what it is. It's cigarette smoke. And he knows who it is, and it's his father. And his father's doing what Frank always remembers is doing. His father, by the way, who died years ago, but not soon enough as far as Frank is concerned. But he's doing what he always used to do. Smoking cigarettes and complaining. I never got a break. No one ever listens to me. And this beautiful, beautiful dream has suddenly turned into a nightmare. Suddenly, his father puts his hand on Frank's shoulder, and he recoils just from the touch of him. Well, the father says to him, you can go back now. So Frank turns, and in front of him is an Art Deco elevator bank, like in the lobby of the Chrysler building or the Empire State Building. And there's an elevator with a crest on the door, and the door opens and the crest splits in half. And Frank enters the door. And he turns and looks, and there's only 3 buttons, 3 floors, 222, 99, and 1. Frank presses 1, and the doors close, but they open immediately. And he looks out and he sees St. Patrick's Cathedral in front of him again, but he looks at the buttons and it says 99. So he jumps out. He walks across the path again, comes to St. Patrick's, and there she is, the love of his life, standing there waiting for him. and she's wearing a white dress, but it's not a wedding dress. And he walks towards her, and they don't embrace. She puts her hands out. And as he approaches her, she cocks her head to the side and smiles like she always used to do when he'd walk towards her. And she puts her hands out. He takes her by the hand, and he knows that he will, even in the dream, he knows in the living world he will never, ever be this happy or this complete, ever. He takes her by the hand and he's so overwhelmed, he doesn't know what to say. So he just recounts what just happened to him. He said, I was in an elevator, and it was floor 22, 9901. I pressed 1. It opened at 99, but it led me to you. So that must mean, and she just went, shh, next time, take the stairs. And he wakes up. Now he's back on that bench. He wakes up on the bench and he realizes he didn't die last night. He didn't come back to life. She came to him and she told him, there is no elevator. If you want to be this happy and feel this complete, you have to take the stairs. You have to keep going. You have to keep moving forward. And the stairs go up, and it's a lot of work, and it's hard to do. And that's how you live a more virtuous life, a more complete life. So that's the story of Take the Stairs. In my life, my creative life, that means just what do you think it means? Sending out submissions, being rejected, writing for hours, no one cares about me, no one's listening to me. You just keep going, and you keep writing, and you keep producing, and you keep doing hints like this. So one of the steps I've taken along the way, through a series of circumstances, was I met with a director and a screenplay writer who came to me with an idea for a documentary. So I'm co-producing a documentary, and it's about the American Stock Exchange, the building where I used to work. So we're going to show a brief film clip from the documentary now, and afterwards we'll talk about that and we'll discuss my other stuff. So here's the film clip from the documentary I'm working on.
Like, why do you think you didn't struggle with it like they did? Like many of the others did?
Well, I did struggle, but I think I was lucky in a way that my struggle was condensed, put it that way. I left the floor voluntarily. I started working for an investment company as a trainee, and I went through everything most people go through. My boss was the same age as my clerk when I worked on the floor and all that stuff. So I went through that initial struggle, but I accepted it and I knew that's the way it's going to be because I voluntarily went.